I'm currently training for a competition at the start of February called Liftfest. This is an invitational competition for strongman. There'll be up to 5 ladies in my category, and in this particular comp there's no weight classes. So generally I compete in the under 73. This comp we're going to be doing against all weight classes. So,
are you happy to not cut weight?
Yes, I'm very happy to not have to cut weight, especially after Christmas. And also, a few of you probably know I had COVID over Christmas as well, so coming back from that, it's good to not have to stress about trying to cut some weight as well. So today we've got Monster Dumbbell as one of the events. Monster Dumbbell press combined with a block press. So the block basically looks like a big microwave. We don't have one at the moment, but hopefully I'll be practicing with that in a couple of weeks. He didn't know there was the camera, but he was definitely like, oh, there's the camera, I'll take the shirt off. So when I'm doing the Monster Dumbbell, there's a couple things that I am focusing on. So when I'm bringing it up towards my shoulder, I want to make sure I'm externally rotated enough that it's sitting up nice and high on that top bit. I'm looking at the Monster Dumbbell as I'm doing it, and then I want to drop under the dumbbell. So sometimes I'll find I do like a step out, but when it starts to get really heavy, it's hard to pull back in. So you want to be in a jerk position and drop underneath the dumbbell before you stand up with it.
So is this part of a strongwoman workout, putting your sleeves on?
Yes, it is for those of us with bigger calves.
Are you just having a shot at me for not having big calves?
Yes, definitely. It's from too much dancing.
So that's why I don't have calves?
Yeah, you didn't do ballet. Yeah, that's good enough.
What's that?
Today I've got some front squats, so we're moving through 5 sets of 4. I'm going to be doing it 80 kilos today. And then after that, there's some leg press, toes to bar and something else, but I can't really remember. So,
why are we front squatting? What's that for?
Testing my knowledge. So front squatting, as that will help build up my atlas stone, my log. It's just a really great movement for our upper body strength and our, what do I want to say, midline stability to stay nice and upright, as well as load through the quads a bit more than we would in a back squat.
What's your main pointers with front squats? Where do you feel like, what helps you the most?
Bit out of breath. For me, I tend to collapse through the front or lift my hips up too quickly and then do this fun like good morning backwards. So for me, I try and think about bringing my chest up and back, pushing up and back. And then for me too, my other thing that I sometimes do is I come too far forward on my toes So I really try and sit back in my hips and put the weight through the middle of my foot.
Let's go, Bev. Keep up tall, push. You want me to speed them ones up in the edit?
Yeah, cut the knee one out.
2 training tunes, Bev.
My go-to training tunes are generally like pop punk and emo and all that fun stuff that Jacob loves to listen to.
Don't you put that shit on me.
Usually I just find like a mix on Spotify. It goes through phases, I guess, of who has a new album out, and then we'll listen to that for like way too long.
And what are some bands? What are some go-tos?
Lose my breath. I like a band called Tonight Alive, Paramore, Neck Deep, The Story So Far, Architects. They're generally like, most of their music is enough upbeat, consistent to train to. Sometimes the emo stuff is like too emo to train to because it's a bit downbeat. But yeah, they're the main ones probably.
So now, like being New Year, Bev, like what are some words of advice to somebody trying to get into training now? How can they like best get a roll on and stick with it?
The first thing I would set is just some realistic goals for yourself in terms of how many times you're going to turn up and come to the gym. So you might, long-term goal might be that you're turning up every day, but you might just start with, I'm going to turn up 3 times a week. And if I hit 3 times a week, I'll be happy with that. So that could be your first step. The second thing is not to hold any expectations on yourself to hit certain weights or be at a certain fitness level or look a certain way. Even for those who've been training for a long time past the Christmas period and COVID, we try and be gentle and kind to ourselves that when we're coming back into the gym, we may not be exactly where we were before Christmas. And those guys who are new, like if you've ever trained before or if you see someone else at the gym, trying not to compare yourself to them and meet yourself where you're at with that. And then just try and be a regular routine. So just try and turn up at the same time every day and try and do that each week. It takes 21 days to build a habit, I think. So once you've done that for a couple of weeks, it'll start to feel really natural.
Enjoy new strength.
Enjoy new strength. Alright, that's the end of my training session for today. I hit my comp weight on the monster dumbbell, which is exciting. So hopefully I'll get to have a few more reps in the tank of the day. Front squats, I hit all my reps and they're quite consistent, which is awesome. And then the accessories went well. Toes to bar, as you can see, pretty difficult. Anyway, I'm excited to keep updating you guys on my journey of training towards Liftfest.